Hey, good morning, C3. It's Mr. Milne. It's Monday. I wanted to make a quick video to help you with some of your math homework. Last week, we got into decimals, something that you can connect with your fractional knowledge, right? Tenths are still one whole, dividing into 10 parts. We're going to use decimal notation, so that'll be written as 0 and with that decimal point, and then how many tenths you have. And then we're also working into the hundredths, right? This is just a continued expansion of our place value knowledge. It's still base 10. We used to talk about that. If you had 10 ones, well, that's what 10 means. If you had 10 tens, that then gives you 100. 10 hundredths is 1,000. As you move to the right, past that decimal point, well, now we're into tenths, which means we have taken one whole and we've divided it into 10 parts. As you move one more to the right, we have hundredths, which means you've now taken one of those tenths and divided it into 10 parts. Or, to think about it in a different way, you've taken now 100 parts of one, right? You've taken one whole, made it into 100 different parts. So they're continuing to get smaller and smaller and smaller. In fact, I made a little visual demonstration here. Here's one whole piece of paper. Well, here is 10 pieces of paper. And here's 100 pieces of paper, right? We're getting bigger. However, here's still our one piece of paper. Well, I've now cut it into 10 parts, right? Each of those parts is going to be one part of 10, 1 tenth, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths. And then, if I was to cut these tenths into 10 parts, we'd get our hundredths. You will see on your homework pack, right, it has that grid where they've shaded in one part of 100. If you were to shade in all 100 parts, you would get one whole, right? So that unit still stays the same. It's either getting 10 times bigger, or in the case of decimals, 10 times smaller. So hundredths, hundredths, hundredths. All right, if I gathered all those 100 pieces up, I would still have one piece of paper. So hundredths, tens, ones, tenths, and hundredths. If we were to look at it on a number line, it would look like this. Here's 0. Here's the whole number 1. Here's the whole number 2. I divided between 0 and 1, which is one whole. I divided that into 10 parts, right? This is just like fractions. We did halves, we did fourths, we did thirds. With decimals, we talk about tenths and hundredths. So here's my tenths: 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, still half, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, and 9 tenths. 10 tenths would be the one whole thing. Then it gets a little bit tougher, because if you think about in between the tenths, well, if we were to divide that into 10 parts, that gives us our hundredths. So right here between 5 tenths and 6 tenths, I divided that into 10 parts. There's our hundredths, right? That would be 5 tenths, 1 hundredths. 5 tenths, 2 hundredths, or 52 hundredths, 53 hundredths, 54. Or you can even think about it between 0 and 1. I could have drawn 99 little lines all the way through up there, and that would be what our hundredths are. I also saw that they used place value discs as part of the homework, right? We did this all the way back in Unit 1. We did it with ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, all in the whole numbers. Now we're going to the right of the decimal point. The pattern stays the same. It's going to be tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. However, that's all the way to middle school. So we can just worry about tenths and hundreds. So, same kind of thing. If I had 1, 2, 3 place value discs, if I had 1, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I had 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 3 in the hundreds, 1 10, 5 ones, decimal point, and then 3 tenths, and then 5, 6, 7, 7 hundredths. So this we said as 315 and 37 hundredths. Well, that 37 hundredths means 37 parts of 100. I hope that helps with this week's homework. I know it's difficult to work on new concepts on your own. Feel free to message me through Schoology. Feel free to set up a Teams meeting with me one-on-one, and we can go over your homework. I am going to ask everyone to log into our Teams meeting through Schoology this week. I will also, actually the video right after this is me logging into Schoology. That's going to help us be a little bit more secure and make sure that everyone who is logging in is who they say they are, so we can have a respectful, responsible Teams meeting and be able to talk and discuss things without getting kind of pulled off track. So I hope you have a great Monday, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.